Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I have another process video here for you today. This is another 8.5 by 11 process video for the album I'm working on for my little puppy Swiper. So I'm starting off with just a white piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I am splattering on some it's Tattered Angels. It's like black mist. And I'm doing a lot because I kind of have a vision, if you will. So this picture I printed off, I believe it's probably 4 by 4 or maybe smaller. I'm not sure. It's not a very good picture. But it is what it is. It's the one I have. And I'm just grabbing this stencil now and some modeling paste and just putting that through for a little texture. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, this picture is the day that we got Swiper, and I'm gonna try to do this album as chronologically as I can. It might not be perfect, but I'm gonna try to do that. And so this is a picture I took with my cell phone with the front camera, so it's really not great, but like I said, it's what I have. So I pulled out these really old Heidi Swap like resist die cuts that I have. I've had them forever, and they sit in a cup on my desk. In case I ever need an embellishment in a specific color, I can just create one, but I never really use them. And so what I did, you can see at the top of the screen, I pulled out all like my blue to greenish mint, like gelatos and mists and things like that. And I'm just going to try to do like a ombre. So I set them out how I want them to be on the page. They're going to go kind of in a vertically design. Not kind of, they are going to go in a vertical design. And so I'm starting with the darker blues on the top, and I'm going to do like work my way to the lightest. So I'm just doing kind of a mix. Some of the die cuts you can see are going to have two colors on them that are kind of blended. And it doesn't have to be perfect because they're all going to be kind of layered on top of one another. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I sped it up because, I mean, it gets kind of boring, but I'm just using a little plastic tray thingy there and a water brush and yeah, just kind of working it out to the bottom there. And yeah, so now that I'm pretty much done with those, I heated up my glue gun in the meantime. And so while these were drying, that was heating up. And I'm just kind of checking everything to make sure I like it. Um, I'm going to mat my photo with several layers of vellum. I do this not all the time, but quite a bit. I like it more than just one mat of vellum. I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. And I have a whole drawer full of um, like white scrap paper and vellum scraps. And so I'm just pulling out of there. That's why they're all kind of weird shapes. But I want them to be just layered like you would layer pattern papers, not, I mean, you can layer pattern papers on a perfect mat as well. I don't always. So anyway, I'm probably not even making sense. Just rambling. So yeah, so I am just going to pop that picture up. This page ends up having quite a bit dimension on it, but I love it and it did fit in the page protector, so yay. So yeah, that's where my pictures go. And I'm kind of working off to the side there because those die cuts were still kind of wet, and apparently I don't think they are now because I just put my whole layout on top of them. But yeah, I'm just gonna move them over to the side, trying to keep them in order. And now I'm going to fuss around with them to make sure that they are where I want them to be before I start gluing them down. And yeah, I mean, I still have a ton of these die cuts left. There were so many in that package, and they're really cool. I mean, you can see how they resist and everything. I don't know why I don't reach for them. I have a bunch of cups on my desk like that, full of different things I don't reach for. I really need to start working on using some of that. And speaking of that, while I'm doing this, you'll just see me gluing them down with hot glue. Um, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about like my thoughts on the new releases from CHA, specifically like the Dear Lizzie and Amy Tan and Maggie Holmes and things like that in the Chamel. Now, I will say I wasn't disappointed. All the collections are really cute, and I am a diehard lover of Maggie Holmes. If you watch my channel consistently, you probably know that. But I kind of felt like there was nothing really different. I don't know. I mean, they're all really great collections, but nothing got me to where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to stock stores until they're in. I just feel like a lot of the color schemes and a lot of the products and even the icons and kind of just the overall feel of a lot of the lines were just things I already own or things that have been done, especially by that specific designer already. So I don't know. I think I mean I might pick up pieces here and there. You know, you always get inspired when you see other people use them, but as of right now, I'm just kind of still using the product that I have that I still love, and I'm not really in a hurry to go buy all of these new things that came out. So I don't know, that is my thing. I will say it surprised me to find out to find out it surprised me to find out from myself that actually the collection that I feel most attracted to was the Chamel collection. I really think that is an adorable collection, and I loved a lot of the papers and the things like that in it. So anyways, just my thoughts while I was doing what I was doing. So I have moved on. I've decided to put a couple papers at the top here. Now this is a piece of vellum from the very first Maggie Holmes collection, and you could only get this vellum, I believe, in like the paper pad of it, and it was kind of like there were lots of designs there. I mean, there was a ton of vellum in there that were designs from the actual paper. So I'm using that cloud one, which I loved, and then I just grabbed another sheet of paper out of that pad that had some blues in it that I thought coordinated. And I am kind of putting them at a slight angle. The vellum is definitely at more of an angle than the other one. But yeah, I just wanted to layer those at the top to kind of fill in that white space. And then I'm going to do some sewing. You can see there and just ruffle up the edges a bit to give it a little bit of dimension. And yeah, I really love that cloud vellum. I don't even know if they sell that paper pad anymore. I think I got mine at Michael's a couple years ago, and I still have a lot of the vellum left because I tend to hoard it. So yeah, so now I'm working on a title, and I just pulled out all like the word thickers that I have, and I decided to use this Meet Cute from the Amy Tan thicker thingy, and I went with the gold versus the black, and I'm just going to add some icons that were on that thicker thingy as well. So some arrows at the top, a little heart at the bottom, and some of those plus signs. And I thought Meet Cute was appropriate because, like I said, this was the day we went to go get Swiper, and so this is when we met him, and he was cute. So I didn't end up using one of the die cuts that I colored, and so I decided to just punch some hearts out of it since it was already in the same color scheme, and I wanted something to go with that outline heart from the thicker sheet. And so I punched two small hearts in two different sizes, and I'm going to layer one on top and one below. And I'm going to punch one more out, I believe, and stick it on top by those arrows. So I'm going with some word stickers now, and these are super, super, super old. They're my mind's eye cut and paste. And I just grabbed one that says something. I'm not sure what it says, but I can't read it on my screen. But and just cut it apart and layered it up there. And I decided at this point it just needed more color. So I'm grabbing my gelatos and my water brush, and I'm just going to do a little bit of like watercoloring, I guess, around the photo, kind of keeping with that same ombre feel on that side as well. I mean, it's not perfectly lined up, but I try to do the darker blues at the top and the more minty greens towards the bottom. And I really liked how that came out much better. It just balanced everything out. It was just too white. And then I actually accidentally went over some of those splatters, and it bled. And so I'm going to have to get creative and find a way to cover that up in a bit. But yeah, just adding some more color. And like I said, I really love how that turned out. And I loved how it made the modeling paste pop out quite a bit too, because modeling paste resists the color pretty much. So yeah. So here I am going through some die cuts. These are an old Amy T. I think this is Yes Please, which is one of my all-time favorite collections from her. And I knew it had some blues in it, so I pulled out a couple blue die cuts, and I'm going to just end up using this one to act as a layer. So to cover up that splotch down there. because I was so smart and colored over it with water. But hey, it works, right? And it adds another little layer down there. So yeah, I have that, and now I am just watercoloring a bit under there, make it look like it belonged. Now I am trying to avoid all the spots so I don't have that same problem. One did also smudge at the top, like right next to that heart that says cute at the top of the picture, and so I'm going to end up covering that up later as well. But back to these little word phrase stickers, and I'm going to add a few more. I'm pretty sure that one says you're one of a kind. Um, and it was already in separate stickers on the sheet, so I'm just pulling them off and sticking them down over there. And they blended in really good with that specific area with those colors, like in the ombre thingy. So that worked good. Sorry, I'm so technical. I think I've said thingy 50,000 times in this video. Yeah, so I stuck that heart thing back. I gotta stop. I stuck that heart down there, and I'm grabbing these gelatos again, and I decided I wanted some more color in some other areas. So I'm going to do a little bit under that vellum, and I'm going to do a little bit um, on the right side, a little kind of like under the title a little bit, coming from the side. Well, you'll just see in a second. There it is. And I'm using both of the colors, and I'm just mixing them together so that there's different shades of that, the blues and the greens kind of in both of those areas. And yeah, I just like how the color, I feel like when I added the color to all those places, it just brought everything together and made everything just more balanced, I guess. I don't know. So here I am going to do some stamping. I have this ombre ink pad from Hero Arts, and I really love this one. I will say the stamping on this layout is the one thing I kind of wish maybe I did in a different place, or that I wouldn't have done it all, but I do love that ink pad, so I wanted to use it when I realized I was going to go with a blue type thing. So I used the Studio Calico roller stamp that I get in my Project Life kit, and I stamped today. And then I used just a date stamp to stamp the date, and I don't even know what I stamped at the top. It's something. So then I went ahead and I used that cloud vellum again, and I used the Kelly Perky tab die that I have, and I just die cut these tabs. They actually come as one that you fold over, but I just die cut one and cut them along the score line. And I'm going to layer them. I just felt like it needed something on that side of the picture. And so I layered them with each other, and I just love the color of that cloud vellum. And then I just added a Heidi Swap word sticker on top of it that has like the letters in gold, the word in gold. And here I go with some enamel dots, and these are the Doodlebug ones that have like the glitter in them. They're super cute. I love them. So I'm just going to add those around, and I added another punched heart over that little smudgy splattery thing that I told you about earlier. So I just added an enamel dot by that one, and yeah, I thought about adding up to that heart, but I didn't like it, so I took it off. And a little bit of journaling, kind of just about the day that we got Swiper and how our kids didn't know we were getting him, and it was they were so like excited they couldn't believe it when we brought the dog home. And so yeah, I'm just doing some journaling there in hyperspeed, and now I'm going to do some close-ups so you can kind of see in detail what the layout has going on there. So I hope you enjoyed this layout. I am the 8.5 by 11 size is starting to grow on me. I'm starting to get more comfortable with it, but it is a really big change for me. So I'm still working at it. I'll have some more layouts hopefully coming up soon. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing great. Bye guys.